Hello, welcome to this tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to create a six-legged ties or startups arrangements inside a reinforced concrete column. I'm Morris Dimba and welcome to this tutorial. If you take a look on the screen, you can see a pad foundation here, this one here, and also a column base here with some rebars already in place. But today I want to show you how to create that six-legged tie or startups arrangement inside the column. So once you have all these strands in place, what you do, we'll just pick on particular strands that will help us or guide us in creating our six-legged ties or tie or startups inside a reinforced concrete column. I'll go straight away and click concrete. Then the moment you click on concrete, you will be able to access this Rebar tool. Then click on this drop down arrow, then pick your first choice, the bar group option, then click on it. Then the moment you click on it, you'll be able to notice down here the instruction coming from Tekla structures or the program. Pick the part to reinforce. We want to reinforce this column here. I'll click on it. So the moment I click on it, I'll be able now to pick on the strands where now this is where I have a choice on where my first two sets of the legs to start from. I want my first two set of my leg to start from this end. I'll snap on top of this strand, then go all the way to the next strand here and snap right there. Then target this one also. I'll snap on top of it and snap on top of this one also. Then I'll find my way back to my initial spot, initial point. So the moment you click on your previous point, you're closing your polygon, and that's the end of the journey in following the profile and on how you want your ties or startups to look like inside the column arrow, or how you want the startups or ties to be arranged inside your column. Now I'll close my polygon right here, then press my middle button on the mouse right there. Now from here you can read down here, pick 2 points to indicate the range of reinforcement or to give the orientation on how you want the ties to appear inside your column. Now I want the orientation to be this straight. I'll snap on that spot and give that orientation like that. I'll right click and exit from that command. I'll click on empty screen to deselect what has been selected. Now if I press Ctrl and hold my middle button on the mouse, I'll be able to turn this round and check how this looks. Now I'll show you how these bands are created, how you can control the length of this band or leg, how to create this bending radius here you're seeing here. Now to do that, let me just take my previous position. I was right there. Now I'll double click on this tie. Then the moment you click on that, you'll be prompted with this dialog box of bar group properties. Now under inside here we have general. Under general we have this rebar group type. So the moment you click on this drop down arrow here, you'll be able to see various options of rebar groups. So we picked the first one, which is the normal one. Now the rest will be going through as we proceed. Now I've picked the first option. Now the name grade is changeable. You can click on this drop down arrow also, and the rest is changeable the moment you want to change the size of your rebar. At the moment I'm using size 12 grade H, but if you intend to change the grade and the size of the bar, just click on this radio button here, and this will take you to this selection of rebars here. Inside here you'll be able to pick on various grades of steel and the size of steel. Now I'll go straight to H grade. Now inside the grade H, I'm using a steel bar size 12, and I prefer it to be a tie or startup. I'll accept that by clicking OK, then come here and click modify to accept all the changes. But I've already changed that. I had picked it initially as 12, as size 12. Now here we can leave it as we can leave this bending radius at 24, though we can change it to 15, just to make sure everything is uniform. Now we go to hooks. We have two hooks here, hooks at the end and hooks at the start. All these are manipulatable, and hook type, angle, and radius, and also the length of the hook. Now I want to show you how to modify the bend radius of this hook, the bend radius of the hook. You come here on hook at first, pick on the hook type, angle here. Initially I picked custom because I wanted it to give it my preferred angle, bend angle and bending radius. Now I picked 135 bending angle. Then I came here. So the moment you picked on this, the Tekla structure will prompt you with the default setting of angle, with the angle, radius angle, and the length of the hook. Now if you intend to customize this, so the moment you've picked 135, just go back and pick the custom. The angle will remain on the same spot, but you'll have the opportunity to change the radius of bend. I'll give it 15, and the length of the bend, I'll give it 50. You do the same thing here on hooks at end. Then if you scroll down here, you will go to cover thickness. This is now the distance between the steel and the formwork. This one here, from the plane on the plane. Now I've given it 60. I've given it 50, but I want to adjust these to 75. I'll change this to 75. Then there's another option here, distribution. How do you intend to distribute your ties inside this column? There are various options here. I picked this one, distribution by number of reinforcing bar, distribution by target spacing. Now I picked distribution by exact spacing value with flexible last space. I picked on that. There we are. Now number of reinforcement, this one is grade, and it will only be active the moment you pick on the option that will touch on it. If you pick on the number of reinforcing bar, then if you click on it, you'll find this part becoming gray and this one becoming active, and you can feed number of steel you prefer, or number of startups or ties you prefer to be inside your column with several strands. Now I'll scroll down just to show you other ways. There's a section of creation, but this one is not so much important. Now I'm comfortable with this, but what I intend to change is how this, I want to change this spacing between the steel and my formwork. I want to give it 75. I'll give it 75 right there, and I'll close that. I'll click on empty screen just to deselect what I've just selected. Now this is how it looks. Now I'm going to the next step. I want to create my second two sets of legs. Remember, the legs I'm talking about are these ones. This is the first set of my first creation. Now I'm going to concrete once again and come to rebar here and pick on bar group. Then I'll pick on the part I want to reinforce, or the section I want to reinforce. Then I want my second leg to start from this end. Then I'll snap on top of this strand here, then go all the way to this end. I'll snap on top of that, then target this one right there, and go all the way to this end. I'll snap on top of that, then go all the way to this end. I'll snap on top of that. Then I'll press my milled button just to wind up or close my polygon. I'll press milled button. Then if you read down here, you'll be able to see or read the instruction you're given there, that to pick the points to indicate the range of reinforcement, or linearity of how you want your ties to appear, or the direction in which you want your ties or startups to follow. Now I'll give this orientation. I'll snap on top of this, then keep my line straight and snap anywhere along this column. I'll snap right there, then I'll right click and go to interrupt to exit that command. Then if I click on empty screen, everything that has been selected will be deselected. Then press my control while holding my milled button on my mouse. This is how it has appeared, but it needs some slight adjustments. I'll come back here and double click on that, set. Then I'll come back to rebar group here, then target the cover thickness. I want to change this to 90. Perfect. I'll close this, then just to try and turn this around and check around whether everything is appearing as per my preference. I'll turn this, turn that. Perfect. I'm going for the for the third set of legs for 6-legged tie or startups. I'll click on empty screen to remove all those selections, or to remove the selected members. Now I'll go back to rebar once again, and I'll click bar group. Then I'll pick on this part to be reinforced. I would like to my third set of tie to start from this end. I'll snap on that spot, then come all the way to that spot, then go all the way to this end. I'll snap on top of this strand, then come on top of this one. I'll snap on top of that, then go back to my initial spot just to close down or to close this polygon, then press my middle button on the mouse. Then I'll give the orientation of my ties. I'll snap right there. I'll right click and exit. This is how it looks, but we need some slight adjustment. I'll double click on it once again, just to prevent ties clashing inside the column. Now I'll come to cover thickness here and I'll change this to 65 and click modify. Perfect. Now I'll press Control once again and turn this round, and this is what you'll be able to see. There's no ties, there are no ties clashing inside, though there's this one here. We don't need any clash inside. Double click on it once again, and we'll go back here and change this to 60. Change that to 60. I'll come back here and check whether there's any clash down here. 60. Not okay. I'll try 50. Perfect. Now I'll close this, then click on empty screen just to remove all the selection, what we've selected. This is what we have now. And now if I press Control and go to plan view, this is what we see, and this is what we'll be able to see. This is the 6-legged arrangement of ties inside the column. Now, if you may ask, what are these legs I'm talking about? I'm talking about these bands here. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These a 6-legged tie or ties or startups arrangement inside the column. So now this is how to create this, and this is how it looks if you look at it from the top or the plan view. Now, if I'll go back to my isometric view by pressing Ctrl P, then I want to increase the height of my column. I double click on it, then I'll change the height inside here. It was initially at 0 level. Now I'll give it a height of 6 meters. I'll give it a height of 6 meters. There we are, and it has followed the full height. All the rebar all the rebars and ties of all the strands and the ties have actually followed the full height of our reinforced or our concrete. Now I'll press Ctrl and hold my middle button on the mouse. Now I'll take you to the top of our column, and you can see how this has been arranged on top here. Turn this round. You can see everything from top here. This is how it looks. Perfect. There's no ties clashing inside the column. If I zoom in, you can check that. Let me just turn it once again. You can see it from the top here. That is how it's done. Now I think this will help you much, but at this stage I think you can now follow this step by step and create a similar thing without any problem. If there's any problem or you're facing any difficulty, just ask or just put that comment down there on this channel and I'll respond back to you. This is how it looks now. Now what I'll do, I'll just highlight everything here. I'll just highlight everything here and right click and come to copy and pick it from this spot and take it there, take it right there, take it right here, take it right here. Perfect. I'll close that and select again everything. I'll select everything here, but I'll exclude the grid, and then right click and come to copy. I want to copy everything from this end. I want to copy that to that spot, and that to that spot, and that one to that spot. I zoom out and distribute these inside this grid here. You are seeing here, snap right there, I'll snap right here, I'll snap right here. I'll right click and exit by clicking interrupt. I'll press Ctrl now to turn this round, and this is what we'll be able to see. Then I'll press Ctrl and turn this. I'll turn this, as you can see this. Now I'll switch back to my plan view. Then I'll click on empty screen just to remove that selection. Then I'll double click and come to now we'll change the view property here by double clicking here. Let me just close that, then start it afresh. I'll double click on empty screen, then come to view properties here. Under view properties, I'll come to projection, then click this drop down arrow, then pick perspective, click modify and accept. Now if I zoom in, I'll be able to see the isometric view of either one of these. I'll be able to see the arrangement now under perspective view. Now this is how it looks now. If you view it on top, with a perspective view. This is how it will look. Now I'll go back to my ortho view by double clicking on the screen, then come to ortho, then click modify, apply and accept. Switch back to my isometric by pressing Control, then this is where I'll be back to. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and let's meet on the next presentation. I hope this will help you much, and if don't find it difficult, if you feel there's some difficulty, just drop that comment down there. I'll respond back to you. If you're new to this channel, once again, don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye, I'm Morris Dimba, and thank you.